A good day to everyone. This video will tackle answering questions in Chinese. So there will be 3 questions here, and I will explain it later so that you would know how to use or how to understand these 3 questions and at the same time answer these 3 questions. So let's start. The first question that we are going to tackle is the question who. In Chinese, it is read as 谁, 谁, 谁. So how do we use who in a sentence? Our first example for the 谁 or for the who question in Chinese is this sentence. So the question is 你的朋友是谁?你的朋友是谁?你的朋友是谁? Now, in this part of learning Chinese, remember that it's very important to understand the question. And in order to understand the question, you have to translate it properly first. Okay, so we have to translate the question properly so that we will know how to provide a good answer or the correct answer. Okay, so how are we going to translate this? Okay, first and foremost, we have to check our lessons before. You have to go back to the lessons before in order to understand how to translate this. For example, in this first part, this 你的, okay, 你的, okay, so you could check this in the pronoun section of our video. So basically, a translation for 你的 would be your. Okay, so the translation for 你的 is your. So how did we get 你的? Again, 你 is translated as you. And then since we have a 的, if you remember in the pronouns, okay, the 的 provides possessive form or possession. Okay, possessive form of the pronoun. So you plus a possessive form, okay, you would get your. Next, 朋友. 朋友, if you check in the HSK1 or the vocabulary that you have written in your notebook, you would see that 朋友 is translated as friend. Okay, so we have your friend. And then 是, if you remember our sentences with 是, 是 would mean is, am, and are. Okay, so there are 3 options to choose between is, am, and are for 是. And then the last one, 谁, of course, our lesson for this video. This is translated as who. Okay, now, since we have already completed a sample translation, we would now try to read and understand. Now, if you check the translation, it will be your friend is, am, are, who. Of course, the best option for 是 is actually is. So who your friend is who. Okay, now let's write that down so that you will see the translation. Your friend is who. Okay, but you know, in English grammar, it might sound not correct. Okay, your friend is who. Basically, if you properly translate that, it would be translated as who is your friend. I think that's a proper way of translating it. So the question 你的朋友是谁 is translated as who is your friend. Now, if you are planning to translate this will be the proper way of translating it, but it takes time. So if you can answer it directly, it's much better. Okay, but if you cannot, you have to translate and use this pattern or way of translating. That's also okay. But if you can translate it directly, much better. So how are we going to answer it? Okay, let's put a line here so that we would not get confused. Now, if I directly answer this question, okay, if we directly answer this question, the answer should look like this. I'll type it in Chinese so that you would see the answer. So 我的朋友是 and then blank. Okay, so this is what the answer will look like. 我的朋友 是. Now, let me just put some pinyin so that you will able to read this. So this is 我, again from the pronoun 我的, and then the same character 朋友是. Okay, so here if you notice we have a blank. Why do we have a blank here? Because basically the blank is the answer for who. Again, I put on a note, a direction so that you will not be lost. So Shay is here. So the question is who. So here on our answer, you would already write who is this friend of yours. Okay, so let's translate this first. 我 is I. Okay, I. But you still have another 的. Again, 的 signifies a possessive. Okay, or shows ownership. So I possessive, it becomes my. Again, you could check this in the pronoun section of our video. 朋友, we already have that. We have the friend. And then 是 is. Okay, so my friend is 我的朋友是. And then here is a name of your friend. Name of your friend. So any name will do. Okay, any name that you put there would suffice, would be okay. So if you put my name, for example, your friend is, let's say, Alex, then 我的朋友是 Alex. And that is correct. Now, you have the option to choose what kind of answer you will provide there. But remember, if you notice, again, I'll give you some something to look at. Ni is you. Every time you answer, you have to change it to 我. So from 你的, it becomes 我的. Okay? The 朋友 doesn't change and the 是 doesn't change. And the 谁 will be changed into the answer. Okay? So 我的朋友是 Alex. So once again, the question is 你的朋友是谁? And the answer is 我的朋友是 Alex. This is the first setup, or this is the first pattern of answering a who question. Let's check for more examples. Our next example is 你的爸爸是谁? 你的爸爸是谁? Okay, so if you want to try and answer it on your own, feel free to do so. You could pause this video and try to answer it on your own. Okay, if you're done, let's see if your answer is correct. Okay, so let's start. The question is 你的爸爸是谁? 你的爸爸是谁? Now, again, let's do our translation first so that we could get what the question means. So 你的 means your. Then 爸爸, if you check in the HSK1, Papa is actually the Chinese character for father or daddy. 是 is MR again. And then 谁 is who. So the translation will be your father is who. Okay, of course, a better wording for it will be who is your father. Okay, so that will be the question of the 你的爸爸是谁? Who is your father? Now, how do we answer it in Chinese? Again, using our what we learned from the past example, we have to change the 你 to 我. So the answer would look like this. Okay, so 我的爸爸是. Now again, notice the differences. For the question, 你 is being used, but for the answer, you have to use this character, which is 我. So 我的爸爸是. Okay, 我的爸爸是. Okay, so 我的 is my, father is, and then the name of your father. For example, the name of your dad is James. So 我的爸爸是 James. Okay, so that's how you answer this kind of a sentence. Now, again, going back, Shay, okay, is again not anymore copied in the answer, because in the answer we will be already answering the question who, or the Shay word. So, 我的爸爸是 James. No more question word. Okay, so the question, if I ask you 你的爸爸是谁, your answer would be 我的爸爸是, and then the name of your dad. Okay, the name of your dad. So when it becomes a wrong answer, okay, when does this becomes a wrong answer? If you put a female name. If you put a female name, for example, 我的爸爸是 Jenny, then it will be wrong. Okay, because Jenny is a woman's name. Okay, so if it's a woman's name, then you can't use it. Okay, you have to use a male name, okay, or a man's name, because it's a papa. Okay, but if the question will be mama, then you have to put a mother's name, a female name. Okay, now for some of you who do not have a father anymore, okay, for those who do not have a father, you have another way of answering it. Okay, let me just minimize these things. Okay, so for those who do not have a father anymore, your answer should be here I will type it. Okay, as simple as that. 我没有爸爸. Okay, so again, 我没有爸爸. 我没有爸爸. Now, what does 我没有爸爸 means? 我 again is I, and then 没有, again, if you check it in the vocabulary that we have studied earlier, 没有 means none. It's also found in the HSK. 我没有, 没有 is none. Papa is father. Okay, so I, none, father. So in English translation, I have no father. Okay, so if you don't have a father anymore, your answer could be 我没有爸爸. But if you have a dad, your answer could be 我的爸爸是, and then the name of your dad. So this is how we answer the question 你的爸爸是谁? Next example is 你的哥哥是谁? 你的哥哥是谁? Okay, so for this, if you can answer it on your own, pause the video, try to translate it, try to answer it on your own. If not, wait for the video and I will explain it to you. Did you get it? Okay, let's see. Let's check. Okay, so again, ni is your, we already know that. Now, 哥哥 is actually older brother. I'm sure we already studied it before, so you could just check your notes before. Older brother is 哥哥. Is who? Okay, so your older brother is who? So, translating the proper question, who is your older brother? Okay, so who is your older brother? Now, how do we get the answer? Okay, so 我的哥哥是, and then the same strategy, the same technique that we're using. 我的哥哥是. Okay, so my brother, my big brother is, and then the name of your big brother. Name of big brother. Okay, so the pinyin 我的哥哥. 我的哥哥是. Okay, 我的哥哥是. So, what's the name of your brother? Let's say your name's brother is Jan. Okay, 我的哥哥是 Jan. Okay, so that will be your answer. Again, who, Shay, answer should be the name of a person. Okay, 我的哥哥是 Jan. Now, if you don't have a brother, how would you answer it? The same as earlier example, but remember you have to change the papa from the 哥哥, so it would look like this. 我没有哥哥. Okay, 我没有哥哥. This means I don't have a brother. Okay, 我没有哥哥. Okay, the same thing as earlier, but we just changed the papa to 哥哥. Okay, so this is the example sentences for the question word who, or in Chinese, 谁. So if someone asks you, 你的哥哥是谁? You could answer, 我的哥哥是, and then the name of your brother. Or if you don't have a brother, you could say, 我没有哥哥. So analyze this carefully and check the pattern. It's all the same. Okay, let's go to the next question. Next question is the question where. In Chinese, we read where as 在哪里?在哪里? Okay, so let's see the examples. The first example for where or 在哪里 is this. 你的爸爸在哪里? One more time. 你的爸爸在哪里? Again, using the same strategy for translation, we have the 你的 as your. Again, if you notice, there's a pattern. It's always the same. Okay, papa is father. And then 在哪里 is where. Okay, so your father where? Translation, where is your father? Okay, where is your father? Okay, that's the answer in English. Now, how do we answer it in Chinese? Okay, the answer would be 我的爸爸在. And then, depending on what place your father is, you could answer like this. So, here we have the 我的爸爸在, and then a place. Because the question now is 在哪里 or a place, therefore your answer should be a place. So for example, your dad is in SM, so you could say 我的爸爸在 SM. Okay, if your father went to Santiago City, let's say 我的爸爸在 Santiago City. Okay, so these are the different answer. Okay, so this is how we say where. So the question 你的爸爸在哪里? Then your answer would be 我的爸爸在, and then a place. Let's check other examples. Next example, again, if you could try it on your own, you could pause this video and then try to translate it and answer it on your own. Okay, did you get the answer? Okay, if not, let's see. The same. The question is 你的朋友在哪里? 你的朋友在哪里? Translation, your friend where? Okay, so if you're going to translate it, we would have a translation for where is your friend. Okay, and how do we answer that? Okay, again in Chinese, you have to change the 我 from 我的, and then copy the 朋友, and then copy the 在 to, and then a blank space. Okay, so 我的朋友在. So 我的朋友在. Okay, so my friend is in, and then a location, you could say SM, or a city, Kawayan, or Alicia, or anything. Okay, so 我的朋友在 SM. My friend is at SM. Okay, so as easy as that. Remember again to change the 你 to 我, and don't copy anywhere the 哪里, because the 哪里answers the question of the where. Okay, so next. Last question word is what, or in Chinese, 什么. 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 Okay, so when reading 什么, remember that the letter N is silent. So we don't really read the letter N, although it's still written when you write the pinyin. Okay, and then the letter E in both of 什 and 么 is not actually E, but actually Okay, so 什么. 什么. and 什么 means what. Now, this is, I think, a bit easier, although the challenging part here is you have to organize properly your HSK vocabulary words in Chinese so that every time you see a picture, you would at least have an idea what kind is that. Because here, you have to answer depending on what kind of picture you are looking. Okay, so in this case, let's try to translate this first. So now we have a new word. We have 这是. 这是. 这是 basically just means this in Chinese. So a combination of 这 and 是. Okay, 这是. Okay, and then 是 is. Okay, and then what? Okay, so 这是什么 means this is what. Again, fixing the grammar, you will have what is this. Okay, so what is this? Of course, obviously, there's a picture of a dog. So the answer would be, well, it's a dog. But how would you answer it in Chinese? So again, the question word 这是 would place the answer. Okay, so it's a dog. So later we will know how to write a dog in Chinese. And then 这是, all you have to do is copy it. So basically the answer here would be 这是狗. 这是狗. So as you can see, 这是 is this is, and then 狗 is dog. So basically the answer would be 这是狗. This is a dog. Okay, so when I ask 这是什么, what is this? Then of course the answer would be 这是狗. Every time I'm going to post a picture, or every time I want you to answer the question what, these things are found inside the HSK vocabulary. So if you have free time, if you have an extra time, every time you're finished with our lesson very early and you have extra time, please review the HSK so that you can find the answer very fast. Okay, so this is an example. Let's look at another example. Here in this example, we have another picture, a picture of a personal computer, or in Chinese we call it a 电脑. Now, earlier we have 这是什么. Now we have another new word. We have 那是什么. 那是什么. In this case, 那 means that, and is 是, and then what is 什么. So that is what, or what is that. Okay, so you have to clarify if this is if it is this or that. 这是 is this, 那是 is that. So 那是什么? Again, the answer is very simple. All you have to do is copy this 那是. Okay, and then 什么 we all know is a computer. So how are we going to answer? Okay, so the answer will look like this. 那是电脑. 那是电脑, where 电脑 is a Chinese character for computer. Again, it is also found in the HSK1 vocabulary. So 那是什么? What is that? The answer, 那是电脑. That is a computer. Very easy. The last example is a combination of a pronoun and a question what. Okay, so the question is 他们是什么? 他们是什么? Now, if you could see here a picture not just of one doctor, but actually many doctors. So the question, let's analyze it first. We have 他们. 他们 is actually they. Remember that 他 is a he or she, but if you add a 们, it becomes plural. So he or she becomes plural, it becomes a they. They, and then again here is a 是. Can we still use is? Not anymore, because they is a plural. So it should be they are instead of they is. Now 什么 is again what. So they are what? Okay, so in English, what are they? What are they? Okay, what are they? 他们是什么? Of course, the answer would be doctors. So how are we going to check the answer? Now, all you have to do is again copy these three. 他们是. You have to copy these three, and then this 什么 now becomes the answer. So for this case, we have doctors here. Okay, and then 他们是, you have to put the answer here. Now, what would the answer look like? 他们是医生. Okay, so the answer would be 他们是医生. So if you notice, I just copied the 他们是, and then the 什么 is changed to an answer of 医生, which means in Chinese doctor. Pinyin 医生 doctors. So that will be the answer for 他们是什么? The answer 他们是医生. Okay, I hope you understood this question words clearly. If you have questions, feel free to comment down below, and or feel free to message me in the Telegram. Okay, so I hope you enjoy, and I hope you learned a lot of things here. So until the next video.